Hello, my name is Lloyd, and I would like to talk to you about supernaturals. Now, don't worry, I'm not mad, but I am enthusiastic about the subject, which is why I've started CenSAA, the Centre for the Study of Supernatural Activity. But you've become part of something very, very special. Never before has anyone ever tried to build up a supernatural picture of Great Britain. Soon, maybe we can track every Type 1, Type 2 and Type 3 in this great country of ours. But for now, let's keep it as our little secret. Albeit the greatest secret you've ever been a part of. Just me, you, and evidence. Let's see what we have here. This CCTV footage is thought to show a Type 1 moving through a corridor, although the origins of the footage are unknown. The anonymous sender gave us a name to research. John, Marshall, Morris, Mitchell, I don't know, someone. Anyway, for now I'm knackered. So, yeah. See you soon, CenSAA. You are not going to believe this. I've got a lead on probably the most famous vampire that ever lived. The Highgate vampire. In December 1969, a man was walking through Highgate Cemetery in North London when he spotted a mysterious grey figure. He spoke about this in a letter to his local newspaper, and more people came forward claiming to have experienced similar sightings. Then strange things started to happen. Bodies of foxes would turn up, their throats ravaged, their corpses drained of blood. If you don't believe me, check it out online. It happened, alright? It's real. I pieced together all the witness statements from the time, and I feel that I have a face to match the mysterious figure. Someone, somewhere must recognise this man. Who knows what he could have been up to in the intervening years? Good night. Friendship is a curious thing. I mean, I've got friends. You've got friends, probably. But you've heard the term friends for life. How about the term friends for the afterlife? Two best friends, medical students Caroline Martin and Jessica Dumbarton, were inseparable. Every week they'd meet here at their local park, hang out, walk their dogs, talk about boys, all that crap. One week, Jessica doesn't turn up, and she's never seen again. Caroline is inconsolable, but still, she continues to show up at the same spot every week, week in, week out. And here is where things get interesting. 3 weeks later, Caroline is at the usual spot when, look at this footage. She's talking to someone the camera can't see. Then nothing. The CCTV cuts out and she's never seen again. Caroline is presumed murdered or possibly driven to suicide with grief, and again the body was never found. But this was not the last time the girls were seen. There was one more sighting. But now they're spotted with a third girl in Bristol, on the other side of the country. I smelt a lead, so I kept digging. Who is the third girl? Where does she fit in? And then I found this. In the paper, in the same week that Jessica went missing. An uncanny likeness, don't you think? She's Lauren Drake. So I kept digging. One thing led to another. Friendships, phone bills, bank statements, previous addresses, and then bam! They studied together. They lived together. They were at university together. They shared a house. They did everything together. I think Lauren came back for her old friends. First of all, she converted Jessica, who in turn converted Caroline. A classic Type 1 attack. Friends for life. Or friends for the afterlife. My friends, I started CenSAA several weeks ago in order to track the supernatural hotspots of Britain. Well, I think I've just found the epicenter. Lauren Drake worked with a whole host of staff, including these two friends, George Sands and John Mitchell. They're porters. They live together in a 3-bedroom house on Windsor Terrace. Nothing unusual, you might think. That is, until you stumble across this. Since her premature death on Windsor Terrace, this Type 2 has driven out and terrorised every single person who has ever lived there. Apart from John Mitchell and George Sands. And I want to know why. Could this be the reason? An insurance claim from the day after a full moon? Big surprise. The claim lists the destruction of a whole host of items from several rooms of the house. So, these two aren't fazed by Type 1 in the workplace. These two happily trash their house on a full moon. Oh, and they're also quite happy to live with a Type 2, which leads me to believe that John Mitchell and George Sands are werewolves. I went to the house to look and I can't believe it. I was wrong. All of this time I was wrong. Look in this picture, huh? Who do you see, huh? George Sands, werewolf. Anyone else in the picture? No, you're wrong. Over there, John Mitchell, vampire. So what we've got is a Type 1, a Type 2 and a Type 3 living together, cohabitating, sharing the same space. This is more than we could ever have expected. I've got to get back there. I've got to get there before anyone else does. God, the experiment is tomorrow night. Okay, listen, you meet me back here tomorrow and I'll reveal everything. You be here. Hello, CenSAA. You all know why I'm here. Well, anyone who's been following my broadcast knows exactly why I'm here. I'm researching supernaturals, ghosts, vampires and werewolves. All these years I've been tracking them, finding out about them, discovering more about them. And right now, I'm outside the heart of their community. Inside that pub is a Type 1, John Mitchell, vampire, and a Type 3, George Sands, werewolf. They share a house just down the road with a Type 2, a ghost, Annie Sawyer, a girl killed in the house they now rent. Apparently it was murder. I can't reveal my sources. Killed by the fiancé. No charges were ever brought. Apparently the bastard got away scot-free. Anyway, I need to get access to that house. Because I think it holds a lot of answers. The thing is, I've got to be very careful. Ghosts and werewolves traditionally operate alone, but vampires... Well, vampires are part of a known community. You can never be too careful. They've got eyes and ears everywhere. Oh God, what's that? Just a bottom. Taking the rubbish out. So far, we've been operating underneath their radar. I mean, I reckon they'd have known by now if we'd been onto them, don't you think? I mean... They are subtle, but oblivious. Because they haven't met me yet. And Lloyd is here, and Lloyd is watching, and they're about to get the shock of their... You saw, didn't you? I know you did. Okay, maybe I wasn't entirely honest with you. I'm not just some random bloke. I'm a scientist. I'm a real scientist. I'm a good scientist, not like some mad scientist. You're concerned about them, and you have every right to be concerned because there are some bad people out there, but not here. What happened down there was a complete mistake. You've got to believe me. It was the first time we've ever tried that. Honestly. I know this looks bad. I know it. I know that right now you don't understand what I'm trying to achieve, and maybe I can't tell you right now, but I will, censor. I'm the good guy here. Sure, Kemp. He can be a little bit maverick at times, slightly enthusiastic, but come on, who isn't? I mean, okay, maybe we should have called Professor Jaggat. But we didn't. And what's done is done. I can't stop now, censor. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I'm up to my neck in this thing. I'm gonna turn this around from the inside. That's what I am. I'm an insider. I'm the only one who can help them. Stick with me, censor. Don't abandon me. I need you. I'm pretty sure werewolf didn't come up when I spoke to my careers teacher, but life is full of disappointments. We have 2 type 3s in a relationship. What next? Were-cubs? That's not a bad idea, actually. Were-cubs. Could they exist? In the meantime, I think Mr. Kemp has gone to find young Miss Pickering. I mean, you know, we wouldn't want her wandering the streets on her own. I mean, anything could happen to her. Besides, we want to help her. See you next week, censor. As long as you have the right bait, you can catch anything. Nina Pickering, female type 3, recent conversion. The question is, what's her bait? Whatever it is, we've tapped into it, because she's here. Actually, she's right down the corridor. And all those people who say that we're kooks or that we're crazy, well, they can think again. She walked in here out of her own free will, and we can help her, censor. We can cure her. Fact. John Mitchell, the Type 1 from Windsor Terrace, thought to have something to do with the disappearance of a previous Type 1 leader. Something's happening here. Him, the reopened funeral parlour. Should we be trying to reel him in? What's his bait? Don't worry, censor. I've got my eye on him. Don't start, right? All right? Just don't start. Look, it wasn't my fault. It was not me. I said to Kemp, I said, just wait, just wait for Jaggat, but he wouldn't listen. What am I supposed to do, huh? What am I supposed to do? It's not me who pays for all this, you know? This stuff, it doesn't just fall out of the sky. It doesn't just fall out. It's not my fault. Do you really think that we can evolve without a cost? Do you really think that advancement's just going to happen? Don't be ridiculous. Everything has a price. Have you any idea how much he's invested in me? What he's done for me, the opportunities he's bestowed upon me. And do you really think that I'm going to give it all up just because we've killed a couple of werewolves? Grow up. That's not how the world works. And now there are these monsters at the funeral parlour. And this John Mitchell, the Type 1, their leader. Be great if we could capture him, test on him, then we could make some real scientific advancements. Of course, sir. Yes. I'll make the correct arrangements. We're stepping it up a gear on Windsor Terrace. The Type 3, Pickering's ex-boyfriend, George Sands. It appears that Sands has been installing a cage and soundproofing in the house. Now, either things are getting a tad kinky in there, or someone's planning a transformation and doesn't want to leave the comfort of his own home. We need to get eyes and ears on that place and monitor 24/7. Progress has a price. Hello, Censor. I've told you so much and so little at the same time. I'm sure that you have questions about my colleagues, so in exchange for some secrecy on your part, I'm willing to divulge some of my secrets. After all, we have a circle of trust, don't we? Patrick Kemp, born in Northern Ireland to a Protestant family, his father a strict vicar, the fearsome kind, fire, brimstone and fury, the kind a young boy fears and admires in equal measure. He moved to England, and something happened. Something shocking. I've heard tales, but I can't go into too much detail right now. You'll find out, though, soon. I promise. Mr. Kemp took up an interest in the supernatural, became a Catholic priest specialised in, exorcisms. Now, I've met some pretty hardcore religious types in my time, believe you me, but Kemp, he's in a different league altogether. Then he met Lucy Jaggat. Super intelligent. I mean major boffin territory. Very promising young scientist. But a car accident changed all that. Coming out of the coma, she said she had a religious experience. And suddenly, all that knowledge, all that science, it all suddenly became, overnight, the work of God. Everything. She even started writing papers that there was a human gene that was responsible for evil. But when the papers were published, she became a laughingstock to everyone except Mr. Kemp. And lo and behold, a union was born. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, where do I come into all of this? I mean, what have I got in common with these kooks? But ask yourself this. What if they're right? I mean, you know, not about the religious nonsense, God stuff. But what if there is a gene that is responsible for evil? And what if, through all the work we're doing here, we can find a cure? Can you imagine what that will do to my profile and yours? We'll be hailed as heroes. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Just listen, just listen to me! Look, this is it. This is progress. This is the raw coalface of our endeavours. I've been thinking. And I can see it clearly now. I can see everything so clearly. Sacrifices. Sacrifices have to be made. You have to get on with the job in hand to progress, to evolve. Do you really think that I wanted to do that tonight? Maybe I did. Maybe it was the right thing to do. The progress far outweighs the damage. It's like dropping the bomb at the end of the war. Think of all the fantastic work we've got ahead of us now. I mean, look at me. I'm no James Bond. But I stood there in the eye of the storm, and there was this little voice in the back of my head saying, "Do it, Lloyd, do it, do it, do it. Press the button." Boy, I really did it. I really did it. Back to work then, Censor. More evidence to be gathered, more tests to be done. The monsters are dead, and progress has been made. Oh. And don't cry for them, because they would have done exactly the same thing to you. The bait clearly worked. What can I say? When it's brains v brawn, brain wins every time. It's evolution. I didn't think I had it in me. Last week, you know, the explosion, I never thought I was that kind of guy. But my trigger finger didn't let me down that day. One more thing. I get these reports printed dotted up from time to time. News stories and social anomalies and the like. Several reports of an attack on a train carriage. Carnage. It could almost be the work of type 1s. But I mean, surely nothing survived. I mean, it was impossible. That blast, it was immense. That place was destroyed. No. This isn't possible. This isn't possible because if it is possible, if there's one of them still alive, that means they're going to come for Kemp. And if they come for Kemp, they're going to. If they come for Kemp, they're going to come for me. And if they come for me, they're going to come for my trigger finger. Excuse me. Daniel, Lloyd, control booth. We need to speed up the experiments, the exorcism. Look, the type 3s, everything. We need to speed everything up. Find Kemp then. Call me back. We need to get everything going. We need to speed everything up. It's nearly time. CenSAA followers, if you're watching this pre-recorded message, it means I'm dead. Probably. What started out as scientific exploration has rapidly deteriorated into something far more visceral and basic. We thought that we could control the supernatural. We thought we could study it, dominate it, and ultimately capture it. But the supernatural had other ideas. Or importantly, it has instinct, or as Kemp would say, the devil. Another scientist once said that every action has an opposite and an equal reaction. And if that's true, I'm powerless to stop the consequences that are coming my way. I lied about Galvin. He wasn't the first, he was the fourth, and I killed him. And now they're coming for me. Believe me, I thought I was doing it for the greater good. I really believed that. Look back over my evidence. Sift through these videos one by one because everything is here. Keep fighting. Keep searching. Keep your intentions pure. And if I can offer you one piece of advice, it's this. Be braver than me.